Hello, guys. I'm Timothy Earl with Baseball Talk with the Earl Brothers, and today we've got day 3 of the MLB season, and we will be recapping everything from Saturday, the 28th. We had everybody playing. We had everybody playing yesterday, and boy, was it a fun card because there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra inning games and a couple walk-offs. So definitely a whole lot of fun yesterday. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. I try to do these every single day. So if anybody misses anything involving an MLB day, you guys can just click on this video and you'll know exactly what happened in the MLB for each day. We'll start off with the early game yesterday. The Mets and the Pirates. The Mets win this one 4-2 in the 11th inning. And let's start with the pitchers from yesterday. David Peterson on the mound for the Mets. He went 5 1/3, allowed no runs, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. On the opposite side, you got Mitch Keller. No earned runs, 3 hits in 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Both of them very efficient and got through a good chunk of the game. And we go to scoring. In order to get to scoring, you have to get to the 10th inning where each team scored a run. Pittsburgh scored it on a RBI single from Nick Gonzalez. Luis Torrens tied it up in the bottom of the 10th. Mets stranded the bases loaded and nobody out in the 10th inning where they needed to score 1 run. They stranded the bases loaded. And then we had to head to an 11th inning where Dickie Lovelady almost got through it just quietly, like without any runs. A little dribbler down the third base line that stayed fair. Ended up scoring Jake Magnum, which put up the Pirates 2-1. And in the bottom half, Mr. Luis Robert with a 3-run game-winning home run for the Mets. His first home run as a Met. And ever since he's come over, he has looked like a different player. And that's awesome to see. He had the home run, 3-run shot. He had a walk in that game. He did go 1 for 4, but he had that big hit. Robert and the Mets win this one 4-2 in 11 innings. How about another extra inning game? And how about another walk-off? Because we had the Rays and the Cardinals. Cardinals 6, Rays 5 in 10 innings. We go to the pitchers first. For the Cardinals, a very impressive outing. 6 no-hit innings for McGreevy for the Cardinals, striking out 5 and walking 2. On the opposite side, you had Joe Boyle going for the Rays. He allowed 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 6 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. We go to the scoring, which did not start – well, it started early. With Alec Burleson with an RBI single and Nolan Gorman with an RBI single in the first inning. Then the game went quiet until the 8th inning where Ivan Herrera, RBI double, which gave St. Louis a 4-0 lead. Alec Burleson with a sac fly, his second RBI of the game, put them up 4-0. And then here comes the Rays. Chandler Simpson singled in the top of the 9th to score a run. Carson Williams singled to drove in 2. Nick Fortes singled to drive in another one. And we're all of a sudden all tied up at 4. Yandy Diaz in the top of the 10th gives Tampa Bay the lead. It does not last the whole entire inning because in the bottom of the half, rookie sensation J.J. Weatherholt singles, drives in 2 runs. And the St. Louis Cardinals and Weatherholt in his second career game walk it off in 10 innings. St. Louis goes to 2-0, and the Rays drop to 0-2. Obviously, previous game, Mets 2-0, and Pirates 0-2. Next up, we saw the Cubs bounce back with a 10-2 win against the Nationals. Nationals had Miles McCollum on the mound, 4 earned runs, 6 hits in 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks for him. On the opposite side, you had Cade Horton, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 6 1/3, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. So solid from him. And ultimately, it was just a there wasn't a whole lot of like craziness in this game in terms of a lot of home runs. Sack fly by Matt Shaw, which scored a run. RBI single by Amaya scored a run. A error in the an error in that second inning that scored 2 runs for the Cubs. James Wood with his first home run of the year for the Nationals that gave them one of their runs. Miguel Amaya had his first home run of the year that put the Cubs up 5-1. The Nationals get their second run. That was Nasim Nunez with an RBI single. Then it was all Cubs from there. RBI double from Nico Horner, a 3-run shot from Ian Happ, and a bases loaded walk from Carson Kelly. End up being a 10-2 win for the Cubs, and they even that series, and both teams are sitting at 1-1. All right, we started off with 2 extra inning games. We had this one that was kind of a blowout. Let's go to another extra inning game. The Blue Jays and the Athletics. Blue Jays are 8, Athletics 7, which this was a back and forth game. Well, not back and forth game, a big comeback from the Toronto Blue Jays. In a game that Dylan Cease was phenomenal. 1 earned run, 3 hits, 5 1/3 innings pitched, and 12 strikeouts. He was fantastic. On the opposite side with the Athletics, you had Jeffrey Springs, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 1/3, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. Scoring in this game, the only run that was scored off of this was off of Springs. George Springer with an RBI double. Soderstrom tied up the game with an RBI double in the top of the 6th. Dylan Varsho gives the Toronto Blue Jays the 2-1 lead. In the bottom of the 6th, Denzel Clark with an RBI single in the top of the 7th gives the Athletics or ties it up with the game. And then Shea Bangaliers with his 3rd home run of the year. This one was a granny. It ended up being a 6-2 Athletics lead, which the Blue Jays slowly chipped at. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. an RBI single in the 7th. Jesus Sanchez with an RBI single in the 8th, along with Andres Jimenez with an RBI single. And in the top of the 9th, or bottom of the 9th, Alejandro Kirk ties up the game at 6. We head to extras. Brent Rooker with an RBI in the top half. Addison Barger with a sac fly in the bottom half. Athletics get nothing done in the top of the 11th. Ernie Clement with an RBI single walks it off for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have now taken the first 2 games of that series. So Blue Jays 2-0. Athletics still looking for their first win at 0-2. Speaking of a team that got their first win, how about the Twins yesterday with the pitching masterclass? They went 4-1 against the Orioles. Pitching for the Twins yesterday was Taj Bradley, 4 1/3 innings, where they had 1 earned run, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. On the opposite side, Kyle Bradish, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 4 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. He was solid, just couldn't outduel Taj Bradley. We look at the scoring in this one. A RBI single from Jackson in the bottom of the 1st gave Baltimore the lead. Josh Bell tied up the game with a sac fly in the top of the 4th. Royce Lewis with a 2-run shot in the top of the 5th. And the final run came from Cody Clemens, son of Roger Clemens. That put up the Minnesota Twins 4-1. And that would be all for that game. So Twins even up the series at 1 apiece. Another series I'm happy is now tied up. Rangers and the Phillies. The Rangers take care of business 5-4 in 10 innings in this game. We look at the starters. Aaron Nola, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Not the greatest, although the 3 runs came in the first, 5 runs came in the first. 3 runs came in the first 3 innings. On the opposite side, the Rangers had Latz pitching, who did have to replace Mr. Jacob deGrom, because deGrom had some neck tightness. Not good. But Latz, really good. No earned runs, no hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 innings pitched. So he was fantastic. In terms of offense, it came from Corey Seager with a solo shot in the top of the 1st. Berger adds to the lead, making it 3-0 Texas. And then here comes the Phillies in the bottom of the ninth. Adelis Garcia with a RBI double. Marsh with a 2-run single tied up the game. We go to extra innings. In extra innings, a wild pitch scores a run for the Texas Rangers, along with a Andrew McCutchen base hit, makes it 4-3. Harper gets one back in the 10th, not enough to get the job done. And the Texas Rangers even up the series, and it's one. Well, both teams are 1-1 to start the season. And we get another one of those games, another back and forth crazy game, 6-5 Reds over the Red Sox in 11 innings. I believe this one had decent pitching. Singer went 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So nothing crazy. Red Sox pitcher had Sonny Gray, 3 earned runs, 6 hits in 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. And I just clicked off the page, but it is what it is. But Reds getting the job done in extra innings. Scoring came with a Sal Stewart single in the first inning, and then a fielder's choice that got the second run in for Cincinnati. Matt McClain adds another one, 3-0 Cincinnati. Trevor Story helps tick it back a little bit. He gets his first home run of the year. Immediately in the bottom half of the inning, Sal Stewart gets another homer. Or not another homer, a homer. His first home run of the year. Robin Anthony with an RBI single makes it 4-2. Ela De La Cruz with his first homer of the year makes it 5-3. Then you had a RBI double from Willie Abreu. And Willie Abreu back again in the 9th inning to tie up the game with a solo shot. And then they couldn't do anything in the 10th. Neither team did anything in the 10th. Boston couldn't do anything in the 11th. Dane Myers for the Reds wins the game in the bottom of the 11th with the RBI single. Both teams now sitting at 1-1 as the Reds win this one 6-5 in extra innings. In the series that everybody is paying the most attention to, and that would be the Colorado Rockies and the Miami Marlins. Miami takes game 2, 4-2-3. Miami undefeated still to start the year. Poor Rockies. But this was a kind of a good game. Michael Lorenzen, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. On the opposite side, you had Yuri Perez that went 7 innings. He allowed 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, and a walk. Solid pitching from Mr. Yuri Perez. How did the runs come in? Second inning, a TJ Rumfield home run for the Colorado Rockies gave him 1-0 lead. Liam Hicks in the bottom of the 3rd ties up the game with a sacrifice fly. Ezekiel Tovar with a 2-run shot in the 4th. That gave Colorado their first lead of the season. It did not last long because in the bottom of the 5th, Liam Hicks hits a 2-run shot. So now he has all the RBIs for Miami. He didn't have all the RBIs for the game, though, because in the bottom of the 8th, Owen Casey gets that 4th run for the Marlins on an RBI single. And then they're able to shut down the game in the top of the 9th. So a 4-3 win for the Miami Marlins over the Colorado Rockies. As I mentioned earlier, Miami 2-0, Colorado 0-2 now. We head out to Houston and what could be the game of the day. You had the Angels with 9 and the Astros with 11. Reed Detmers went 4 2/3 innings pitched for the Angels, 3 runs, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, and no walks. I like that 9 strikeouts. The runs, whatever. That's really good to see Detmers getting a bunch of strikeouts. On the opposite side, Christian Javier, 6 earned runs, 4 hits, and 4 2/3 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, and 4 walks. Not great. Ready for all the scoring? Oswald Peraza with a solo shot for the Angels in the top of the 1st. And then you had Jorge Soler with a 2-run shot in the 4th. Gave them a 3-0 lead. Trout makes it a 4-0 lead with an RBI single. Good to see Trout with RBIs in 3 straight games. Nolan Shonowell with an RBI double. That gave the 5th run for the Angels. Wild pitch makes it a 6-0 lead for the Angels. And then from there, it kind of all falls apart. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. from a 2-run double of Isaac Paredes and a RBI single from Carlos Correa. To the bottom of the 6th, a wild pitch scored 1 for Houston, a 2-run single for Carlos Correa, a RBI single for Christian Walker, a 2-run single from Yandy Diaz, a 2-run double from Jake Myers, an 8-run bottom of the 6th inning, and it's now 11-6 Houston. Sean O'Well with a 3-run shot in the 9th. Wasn't enough to get the job done. Houston gets their first win of the season. They are now 1-2. Angels did take that series, though, 2-1. Speaking of teams taking the series, the Milwaukee Brewers have taken the series from the White Sox, as they should have. A 6-1 victory for them today. For pitching, Burke, four innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts and a walk. Brewers threw out Chad Patrick, who had 4 1/3, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. Pretty solid outing for him. Not a whole lot of scoring in this game, 7 runs, but only 1 from the White Sox. Christian Yelich with an RBI single in the 1st, and then a 2-run single for Garrett Mitchell, 3-0 after 1. After 2, it was 4-0 with another Christian Yelich single. Munetaka Murakami with the only run for the White Sox, and that was a solo shot in the top of the 4th. That was his 2nd home run of the year. Brandon Lockridge with an RBI single in the 6th, and Jory Ortiz with an RBI single in the 7th. So it looks like all of the runs for the Brewers were on RBI singles. So good hitting with runners in scoring position for them. Lands them a 6-1 win. We head to the Atlanta Braves and the Kansas City Royals. Braves 6, Royals 2. Atlanta is now 2-0. Pitching in this game, you had Michael Waka with 6 shutout innings, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, and a walk. On the opposite side, you had Ronaldo Lopez, who allowed 1 earned run and 3 hits in 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So overall, very solid pitching game. Why was it a solid pitching game? Because there wasn't any runs until the 7th inning. Salvi hits a solo shot in the top of the 7th. Vinny Pasquantino gets an RBI on an error. Puts them up 2-0. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Mike Yastrzemski, a RBI single, scores 1. Austin 2-1. Michael Harris with an RBI single ties up the game at 2. And Dominic Smith hits a grand slam, the 2nd grand slam of the day in the MLB. And that wins the game 6-2 for Atlanta in what was a very big swing. A 6-run bottom of the 9th gets the job done for the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta 2-0, Kansas City 0-2. We have the first sweep of the year, because I do not believe they play today. Yankees and the Giants. And I will say, at least the Giants scored in this game. But they only got 1, and they have not been great offensively this year. Will Warren allowed only 1 earned run in 5 hits and 4 1/3, 30 strikeouts, and 2 walks. For the Giants, Tyler Mahle went 4 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. So, as you guys can see, good pitching matchup. Ben Rice with a 2-run double in the 3rd inning got the Yankees on the board 2-0. Matt Chapman cut the lead in half, 2-1 with a RBI single. Aaron Judge hits his 2nd home run of the year in the 5th, and that was all the scoring, a bunch of zeros. After that, the bullpens were absolute nails in this game. Yankees 3, Giants 1. 3 games left. Tigers 0, Padres 3. Padres get their first win of the year, and it was in shutout fashion. For the Tigers, Flaherty went 4 1/3, allowed 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 4 walks. On the opposite side, Padres had Randy Vasquez, which out of all pitchers got the win. No earned runs, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Not a lot of scoring in this game. It was a RBI single for Fernando Tatis Jr. in third, along with a error that scored the second run from a stolen base, and then a force out by Jackson Merrill, which made the game 3-0. And that was it. So nothing crazy in this game besides some really good pitching. We'll head out, and I believe this was already a sweep as well because I don't believe these two teams played today either. Dodgers 3, Diamondbacks 2. You had the Diamondbacks throwing Eduardo Rodriguez, who went 5 shutout innings, or 5 innings of no earned runs. There was a run scored. It was unearned. 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. On the opposite side for the Dodgers was Tyler Glasnow. 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, and a walk. Scoring in this game, Pavon Smith, an RBI single in the top of the first. Sac fly for Corbin Carroll in the third. Then came the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman with an RBI double. Will Smith with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th gets the job done for the Dodgers. Dodgers 3-0 start to the season, as we kind of expected. What I did not expect was Seattle to lose their first series of the year. Guardians 6, Mariners 5 in 10 innings. In what was relatively a pitcher's duel into the late innings because there was 5 runs scored in the 10th. Cantillo for Cleveland, 3 2/3, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. For the Mariners, you had Brian Woo, who allowed 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 6 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, and a walk. Scoring in this game, Victor Robles, an RBI double in the bottom of the second. Leo Rivas with a RBI walk in the fourth to put up 2-0. J-Ram, RBI double in the top of the sixth. Made a 2-1 game. Kyle Manzardo scores them. Makes it a 2-2 game in the sixth. We go to the seventh. Stephen Kwan gives Cleveland the lead after an RBI single. 3-2 there. Julio Rodriguez ties it up in the bottom of the ninth with an RBI single. And then we get to the fun, or the 10th inning. Stephen Kwan, RBI single, scores the first run for Cleveland, makes it 4-3. And Chase DeLauder, again, for the third straight day, his 4th home run of the year, 2-run shot for him, scores Kwan, makes it 6-3. The Seattle Mariners weren't quite done. Luke Raley with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 10th, made it 6-5. But that's all they would get, and the Guardians would finish off and win the series in Seattle. A big road series win for the Guardians, 6-5 in 10 innings. Those were all the games from Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing these videos every single day, so if you guys need a recap of what happened, they're all right here. Make sure you guys are liking, following, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another video of what you missed in the MLB. Good luck, guys.